Hey guys, it's Mel here with Tech from Our Perspective, and today I'm going to be reviewing the HTC One Mini 2. Now this is the mini version of the HTC One M8, and I would like to thank Vodafone UK for sending this out to me for review. Wouldn't be without them. Check out their Red 4G plans in a link below, as well as a purchase link to this phone, and let's get into the video. So instantly you can see that this is the HTC One Mini 2. Although it's a mini phone, it's not really that mini, as it does boast a 4.5-inch screen, which is actually bigger than the iPhone 5 and 5S. And here you can actually see that it just looks like a HTC One M8, as you have your front camera here, the design right here, your sensors and light here, and front facing speakers. On this version there is no Beats audio speakers, which is a downfall. However, the speakers on this are meant to be better than the Beats speakers, and I'm unsure of that as I haven't used the original Mini or the HTC One M7. And we're just going to turn this around to look at the design. So here you can see that it isn't that thick, and it's just quite a nice phone with the aluminium back and casing. So but here you can see that there is a bit of a plastic layer, and the M8 does not have this plastic layer, but this could be to reduce the press ever so slightly. And however, it's still a good phone and looks nice. Here is the SIM card tray, which you're going to need a pin to eject, and that is included in the phone's box, and that's good. At the back, we're just going to turn it to the back. You can see that here is one camera with one flash, and this is, I believe, a 13 megapixel camera, which is quite good. And your flash right here, it's not very bright, however it does the job. HTC logo here, and your standard logos like to not bin it and so on. And it's just quite a good design, and I'm glad that they in the mini version retained this design of the M8, making it look like an M8 but it isn't, and it's just so premium. However, the price tag is still kind of high, so you will see that later. We're just going to turn to the other side right here, where you have your SIM card, micro SD support or tray here. You can eject it and insert up to 128 gig of space storage, which is pretty good. Your volume up and volume down right here. And at the front, I forgot to mention, this is described by HTC as the selfie phone, as it does boast a 5 megapixel front facing camera, which I found to be amazing. And the M8 also does have a 5 megapixel camera at the front, which is pretty good. So I'm just going to show you the actual phone itself. So right here you have the actual phone, and you can see that it's on Vodafone UK. So this is the new HTC Sense, and it's got the one that's on the M8, so I can slide up, and this is what HTC Sense looks like. And this is my HTC Blink feed. You can see there's various stuff on it, and it says tap to see new stories, and there's Geeknoids say. So you just can scroll through and there'll be different stuff, and that's the Blink feed that's included in Sense. Here's my home screen, and right here's a Vodafone Discover thing. But what I don't like about Sense is that when you actually go into your apps, it's very clean. You have a black background as if you do on the stock Android. However, what I do like about this over Samsung's TouchWiz is that you can actually search for your apps. Yes, HTC, which is brilliant. And as I press search, the keyboard comes up, and I love this keyboard. It's much better than stock keyboards. Usually what I do is I'll install TouchWiz or Google's keyboard to get the emojis up, and just a simple keyboard with text prediction and text correction. But the HTC keyboard right here is just so amazing. I didn't need to do that, because if you want to just type something, you'll usually have corrections come up here, If you want to type in a different language, just hold down and you can choose the language. If you want to use emojis, just hold down here. Oops. And emojis will come up. And it's so good for a stock keyboard, and I was really proud of this and HTC. And right here, if you go down, then you can see that's how your apps are. You can organize it in a way, and you can actually hide and unhide apps. And this is also something I like, because for some reason on KitKat, Samsung decided to get rid of this from TouchWiz, and it's just stupid. And yet they glorify their phones with the adverts, including the wall hugger one, which was disgusting. But we're talking about HTC here, and I can tell you that they've done a good job. There is some bloatware, including something called Zoe, which is coming soon, yet is on the phone for some reason. When you do install the phone, by default it does come in folders, so media, Google, Vodafone, productivity, tools and lifestyle. So some apps will come installed, like eBay and Amazon, which is amazing. And here you can see I have my other apps, and we're just going to show you a benchmark test first. So Antutu runs through. This does rock a Snapdragon 400 quad-core processor. So of course it's a mini version, because the M8 rocks a Snapdragon 801 processor, and there's a huge difference. However, this is quite a fast phone still, and it probably wouldn't be great for gaming. However, if you're just a normal person, you want to use it for Instagram, Snapchat, social media, so on, and just browsing, then this is perfect for you. It does have a 720p screen rather than 1080p screen, which is bad, but like I've said, it's a mini version, so there will be some budget cuts, and you have to adapt with those budget cuts. So right here is doing the benchmark, and you can just see right here. So we're at 21%. I actually prefer Antutu over Geekbench because it shows more, and you can actually see how the tests are actually done. But Geekbench is much quicker. So for the purpose of videos in the future, I'll probably use Geekbench over Antutu. So we're at 47%, which is decent. %. I do these tests to show you the power of the phone, and you do want power in a phone, and I believe that this does have some power, as the 400 is something that was used in the Nexus 4, I believe, which was once Google's flagship phone. And here you go, you have the 2D test running pretty smoothly. This camera's only 25 FPS, so it won't show the full FPS. Another 2D test. Next we're going to have the ultimate 3D test, which shows the real power in this phone. So here we go, we're running at 26 FPS, so it's good and it's running smoothly. However, you might want a bit more FPS. However, you can't complain with Snapdragon 400 processor, which I think wasn't built for gaming in my opinion, but more of just doing everyday tasks and social media stuff. And yes, it'll be perfect for Instagram and so on. Verified by network. Something failed. However, you see here are the top phones and it doesn't even appear. Right here it appears just under Samsung Galaxy S3, which has the Samsung Exynos processor. and you're on top of the Redmi. So here's the actual M7, and you see the Mini right here, and compare it with 17,552 to the M8, which has 35,000. So there's quite a big difference. Next, I'm going to show you a test on speed test. So this is using the Wi-Fi, and then I'm going to show you 4G, and this does have 4G, which is pretty brilliant. Begin test. Here we go, and we're hitting good speeds, and the Wi-Fi on this is on point, because on my iPad or Galaxy S4 I get around 50 Mbps on the download when I do speed test on Wi-Fi, and you have 49.22, so you can get good speeds out of this if you're on Wi-Fi, and I am on BT Infinity, so that's why I also get good speeds. And then we're going to show you the 4G test. So 49.22 Mbps and 15.71 Mbps, and now we're just going to try it on mobile data on Vodafone Red 4G network, and this is pretty fast still. So we're gonna retry. Here we go, so we're hitting 17 Mbps on the download, and this is actually faster than some people's home broadbands, as I believe the UK average is something like 9 Mbps on the download, which is quite funny because you see 4G doing better. And here we have the upload, and the upload on 4G is actually nearly as good as my BT Wi-Fi usually. It's because before I've got 15 Mbps on the 4G upload. And there we have it. So next I'm actually going to show you a proper game, so we're going to try Temple Run 2. As I said, this isn't built for gaming, so I'm not going to try something like try something like Tomb Raider, if it's even on Android. I can see it's taking a bit of time to load, and here we go. I have to go through a tutorial because I haven't played this before. I just downloaded it for the purposes of the video. And here we go. You can see it's running really well, and you'll have no problems. So like I said, this is perfect for a teenager that just wants to upload onto Instagram and so on. So normal users, so you have like teenagers that just have an iPhone for Instagram. Why get an iPhone just for Instagram with all that power when you can just get something like this, which has a camera built for selfies? Although if you do want to Snapchat, then I don't recommend Android, as there is a glitch where, or bug, something that hasn't been fixed for some reason, where video quality is really low. And here you go, you can see the performance is nice, blah blah. Here we go, we'll just dive for the purposes. And there's one more thing I'm going to actually show you, which is a speaker test. So we're just going to bring up a YouTube because it will show the video, and we're still running on 4G. So let's go into Mahel YT, and here we go. Let's bring up my new video. We're going to bring up 720p because that's the highest you can go for some reason. TF701T. Now I would like to thank Asus for sending this out to me for review. Wouldn't be possible without them. Check them out, they do great tablets and laptops and graphics cards and motherboards and whatnot, anything. And so let's get into the video. So instantly you can see you are welcomed by the Asus transformer pad right here, and it's actually just what it looks like. So we'll just zoom in. So speakers are actually pretty decent. You want to do with trap, they're very loud. If I go into full volume, performance and so on, and we're just going to, you can hear that they're very loud, and if you play music then they'll be even louder. So test. And that's it for the review basically. Once again, check out Vodafone's Red 4G plans for great 4G data and just a great experience. I never have no signal. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a comment below, subscribe and like the video. I would like to thank Vodafone once again for sending this out to me for review. Wouldn't be possible without them. This is Mahel here with Tech from the Perspective, reviewing the HTC One Mini 2, and I'm out. Peace.